Recording in progress.
So what we are talking about is here. Now yesterday we started with Python language fundamentals. Or where in this I said you about character set of Python, right? I said what is a character set is. Now this character set define encoding and decoding standards, right? I said there are two types of character sets. One is called as ASCII and one more is a Unicode. So after that I said Python tokens. And I said what is a token is. A token is nothing but a smallest individual unit within the program. And without tokens, we cannot write a statement or instruction, right? So how many tokens are there here? 5 tokens. One is a keywords, identifiers, literals, data types, and operators. So keywords are what here? Reserve words. So who understand the meaning of these words? Translator. And each word is called one command or not? Yes. Each word is called one command which is used to perform operation, right? So how many keywords are there in Python? 35 keywords. And all keywords are in which case? Lowercase, except 3 keywords. So that is a true, false, and one more is none. But why these keywords are in uppercase? Because this keywords doesn't represent instructions. These keywords represent what here? Values. Okay. This keywords doesn't represent instructions, but represent what here? Values. So true is one value, false is one value, and none is also one value, right? Now keywords cannot be used as identifiers or program or defined words. And I said Python is a case sensitive language and it finds the difference between uppercase and lowercase. And after that, I'm talking about which one? Identifiers. Identifier is which word? Programmer defined word or user defined word. Identifiers are used to identify what? Programming elements. So what is it? Programming elements? I said like variable names. Okay. Variable names, function names, data type names, program name, package name, all these are called as which one? Identifiers. For example, a value is identified with some name, right? For example, you'll write like this. Suppose you are writing, yes, you are writing some result or something, grade. Okay, grade. Okay, grade is, okay, I'm just writing a grade as a 5.0. I said grade equal to 5.0. So what is the meaning of this? This 5.0 is one value or not? Yes. This 5.0 is identified with one name. And what is that name here? Grade. So if you want to read this value, how you read this value with one name, right? What is the name here? Grade. So can you say grade is something called variable name or not? Yes. This is called as what here? Variable name. It means 5.0 is stored in memory. So assume that this is main memory. So this value is stored in main memory. And what is the value stored in main memory? 5.0. But how this 5.0 is identified with one name? And what is the name of this memory location? Grade. Getting on. Suppose if I want to change the grade, what will I do? I'll say grade equal to some 4.0. So the value of grade gets changed from 5.0 to what? 4.0. Then what is this grade here? Can you say grade is identifier or not? Yes. Is it predefined name or user defined name? User defined name. Okay. This grade is not a predefined. This grade is what? User defined. And this user defined is called which one? Identifier. Right? Yes. So identifier is a programmer defined word or user defined word. And identifiers are used to identify programming elements. This identifies or this identifier is created. This identifier is created using alphabets, digits, and allows one special character called underscore. Now here you have some rules. So these are the rules for identifier. The first rule is identifier identifier should not be identifier should not be what? Keyword. Okay. If you are using keyword name as an identifier, it gives what? Error. Identifier should not be keyword. If you are using identifier should not be a keyword. If you are using, for example, if I'm writing something like pass equal to 100, then pass is a keyword or not? Yes. And you cannot use a keyword as what here? Identifier. If you are writing like this, immediately it is given what? Syntax error. In the same way, if I'm trying to write a break equal to 1, then again it gives what? Syntax error. Because pass is a keyword and break is a keyword. Okay. But for example, if I'm writing a equal to 100, is it a is a keyword? No. A is not a keyword. And keyword cannot be used as an identifier. So A is not a keyword I can use to identify 100 or not. Yes. Now, can I write a pass equal to 2? Can I write a pass equal to 2? Yes. But is it given any error here? No, because I said small pass is a keyword, but capital pass is not a keyword. Okay, can I say something like voter ID? Voter ID is okay like this. Now, voter ID is a keyword. No, voter ID is not a keyword. Voter ID is which word? User defined word. Can I say this is identifier or not? Yes. Okay, so identifiers should not be keywords, right? So this is a first rule. This is the first rule. So all this you have to practice in the interactive mode. You have to practice this in interactive mode. And after that, we'll see putting all this inside one program. Okay. But initially you do in interactive mode. Now identifier should not be a keyword. And second one is, okay, identifier should not start with, or identifier should start with, I can say identifier should start with what here? Alphabet, or it can start with which one? Underscore. Identifier can start with, or I can say identifier can be started with either alphabet or underscore, but it should not start with any other character. It can start with alphabet or it can start with alphabet or it can start with alphabet. Identifier can be start with alphabet or underscore, but it should not start with any other special character. It should not start with any other special character. For example, I can write number 1. I can write number 1 equal to 100. I can write number 1 equal to 100. So what is the value of number 1? 100, right? I can write number 2 equal to 200. If I'm saying number 1, it will print the value of number 1, which is 100. If I'm saying number 2, it will print the value of number 2, which is 200. But can I write 3 number 3 number equal to 300? Tell me, can I write 3 number equal to 300? Can I write 3 number equal to 300? No, because identifier should not start with digit. But here, is it started with digit or not? Yes. But is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. So it gives what? Error. So immediately now you can see syntax error, invalid, decimal, literal, like that it is given. So identifier should not start with the digit. Our identifier should not start with the any special character except what? Can I write dollar amount equal to 10? Can I say dollar amount equal to 10? No. So immediately it is given which error? Syntax error. Getting or not? It allows. It doesn't start with, should not start with a digit or any except. Now I can write underscore number. I can write underscore number equal to 100. I can write underscore a equal to 200. Now this is allowed. This is allowed. Identifier can start with the underscore. Or identifier can start with what here? Alphabet. But identifier should not start with any other special character. So most of the students, they do this mistake. They should not start with, when you are identifying one value, this identifier should not start with what? Digit, or it should not start with any other special character except the underscore special character, right? Yes. Now this is a second rule. And within identifier, yeah, this is a second rule here. So within identifier, yes. Please just to try to understand. Okay, what is the first rule? Tell me here, what is the first rule? Identifier should not be keyword. Okay. Can I use keyword as an identifier? No. Second one is identifier can be start with alphabet or underscore, but it should not start with any other special character. Okay. Yes. So that is, now if I'm writing number 1 is valid. If I'm writing number 2 is a valid. But if I'm writing 3 number equal to 300, it is a invalid. If I'm saying dollar amount, it is also what? Invalid. Identifier allows only one special character. So within identifier name or within identifier, only one special character is allowed. One special character is allowed. And what is that special character? Underscore. What is that special character here? Underscore. But no other special characters are allowed. Only one special character is allowed. And what is that? Underscore. I cannot use any other special character. Any other special character means, okay, for example, can I say amount star equal to 100? Can I use a star inside the identifier? No. If I'm using star inside the identifier, so immediately it is given what? Error. So what is the error is given? Name error. In the same way, if I'm saying star amount, even though star amount are A star, for example, A star, A star, empty equal to 100. Is it, this is allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Can I write, suppose, can I write A, can I use any other character? Can I use any other special character? I cannot use any other special character here. I cannot use any other special character. Now, can I say A at the rate, salary equal to 1? No. So immediately it is given what here? Error. So it means within identifier, only one special character is allowed. And what is that special character is allowed is underscore, but it doesn't allow any other special character. If you are trying to use any other special character, now immediately it gives what here? Error. So is it all these are errors or not? Yes. Okay. Yes. Now this is one more. And there should not be any space. Okay. There should not be any space between the identifier, because identifier means not one word. Identifier is one word. It is not more than one word. If it is more than one word, then you separate with a underscore. For example, can I write student space roll number is 1? Can I write student space roll number equal to 1? No. I cannot write student space roll number equal to what? 1. If I'm writing student space roll number equal to 1, so immediately is given which error? Syntax error. Okay, can I write area of circle is some 1.5? Can I say this area of circle is 1.5? No, because identifier is one word or more than one word? One word. But here, more than one word. More than one word means the word is separated with what here? Space. But identifier is how many words? Only one word. It means space is allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. But if you are trying to write a space, immediately it is given what? Syntax error. Then to avoid this, if the identifier is having more than one word, you separate with what? Underscore. If identifier is having more than one word, it is separated with what? Underscore. Student underscore roll number equal to 1. Okay. And area underscore of underscore circle equal to 1.5. So if identifier name is having multiple words, if identifier name is having multiple words, it is separated with what? Underscore, but rather than which one? Space. So space is allowed or not allowed? Not allowed, right? Yes, this is one more thing which you have to remember, because as a beginner, when you start writing programs, okay, you come across this kind of errors. As a developer, you should know how to find out errors, how to rectify the errors. Because you learn more if you do mistakes. You learn from mistakes, right? When you get a mistake, you should not close the program. When you get a mistake, then you identify why that mistake is. Okay, why that mistake is came. Okay, if you read that, then you learn more things. Otherwise, you don't learn anything, right? So just try to understand this. What is the first rule here? Identifier should not be keyword. Second rule is identifier can be start with the alphabet or underscore. And within identifier, one special character is allowed, that is underscore. You use underscore as a word separator or not? Yes. Underscore is used as a word separator. Okay. And then fourth one is, so the maximum length of identifier is unlimited. So there is no limit in length of the identifier. Okay, there is no limit in what? Length of the identifier. There is no limit in length of the identifier. It means I can give the identifier I can give the identifier with maximum of any length. Suppose the value of A is 1. So one is identified with one name or not? Yes. What is that name? A. Is it any limit for identifier? No, there is no limit for identifier. Okay, now if I want to get this value, I have to type A. Getting on. So there is no limit. There's no limit for giving the name of the identifier. Okay, I can say 100. If I want to get the value of this, I need to type B. So what is the value of this? 100. Suppose if I miss one B, it gives what? Error. Because of that, the maximum length of identifier, you give 8 characters. You don't give lengthy names. If you give lengthy names, what will happen? Calling becomes what? Difficult. That's the reason always the identifier name should be what? Short. It should be short, but it should not be what? Lengthy. If it is very lengthy, calling becomes what? Complex. Suppose if I want to add these two values, then I have to say A. I have to say A plus, I have to take which value? B value. But how many B's are there? I don't know. Okay, if I miss one B, then will I get error or not? Yes. If I miss one B, it will give what? Error. If I miss one B, it will give the error, right? So you should know that's the reason you don't give lengthy names as what here? Identifiers. But there is no limit. Python doesn't limit the length of which one? Identifier, right? So maximum length of identifier is unlimited. So fifth one is identifier. Identifier can be defined. Identifier can be defined in which case? Uppercase. Identifier can be defined in uppercase or what is that? Lowercase. You can write an identifier either in uppercase or lowercase, no problem. Because Python is which language? Case sensitive language, and it finds the difference between uppercase and lowercase. These both are not same. So that is what I said yesterday. Okay, so it can be given in either in uppercase or lowercase. Okay, yes. For example, if I'm saying name or if I'm saying roll number, I'm saying roll number equal to 1. I'm saying roll number equal to 10. Is it this both are same? No. This roll number, the value of this roll number is what here? 1. The value of small roll number is what? 10. So identifier can be given either in uppercase or lowercase. But Python is a case sensitive language and it finds the difference between uppercase and lowercase. Okay, now, yes. So in identifier, only one special character is allowed. And what is that special character? Underscore. But no other special character is allowed. Only one special character is allowed. Now you tell me if I write like this, can I write underscore equal to 10? Tell me, can I write underscore equal to 10? Valid or invalid? Underscore is allowed or not allowed? Allowed. So what is the value of underscore? 10. Can I write underscore equal to 20? Is it valid or invalid? Valid. So what is the value of underscore 20? Can I write underscore a underscore equal to 30? Valid or invalid? Valid. So underscore a underscore value is what? 30. Ring on. So only one special character is allowed. What is that? Underscore. But it doesn't allow any other special character. So remember this. Okay. Just see some MCQs on this. Okay, just see some MCQs on this and try to answer it. Online students, try to answer. Yes, online students, you also try to answer here. So first one is, now Python is Python case sensitive when dealing with identifiers? See here, Python is case sensitive when dealing with identifiers. Python is case sensitive when dealing with identifiers. Yes or no? Case sensitive means uppercase and lowercase both are not same. Okay. Capital identifier with the capital letters, identifier with the small letters, both are same or different? Different. Right? So is Python case sensitive when dealing with identifiers? Yes. First one is yes, second one is no, third one is machine dependent, and fourth one is none of the mentioned. Right? So what is the answer here? Yes. Okay, case is always given the first priority, right? So what is the maximum possible length of identifier? 31 characters, 63 characters, 79 characters, none of the mentioned. None of the mentioned because the length of the identifier is unlimited or not? Yes, unlimited. Length of the identifier is what? Unlimited. So what is the answer? D. That is nothing but none of the mentioned. Identifier can be of any length, right? So which of the following is invalid? Underscore A equal to 1, underscore A equal to 1, underscore str underscore equal to 1, and none of the mentioned. Tell me which one is valid here? None of the, yes, because underscore is allowed or not allowed? Allowed. So that can be either prefix or that can be either what? Suffix. So in this, is it all A is valid, B is valid, C is also valid? So what is the answer? None of the mentioned. Okay. All the statements will execute successfully, but this is based on the readability. You'll try to use which one? Underscore. So next one is which of the following is invalid variable? Variable name is identifier or not? Yes. Okay. So my underscore string underscore 1 and first underscore string and foo and one more is underscore. Yes. Okay. Which one is invalid? A or B or C or D? Which one is invalid? B is a invalid. B. Because identifier should not start with digit. Identifier should not start with what? Digit. Identifier can start with the alphabet or it can start with what? Underscore, but it should not start with what? Digit. So is it this is valid or invalid? Invalid. Invalid. So which one is invalid? B. Variable name or identifier name should not start with what here? Number. If you're starting with a number, then immediately it gives what here? Error, right? So local variables means we have not come across local variables. Which of the following is not a keyword? Eval, assert, non-local and pass. So which one is, okay, which one is a, yes. See, you should know the list of keywords, right? Yesterday we have seen keywords list, right? So these are the keywords list. Okay. In this keywords list, non-local is there or not there? See here, non-local is there or not there? There. Non-local is a keyword. Assert is there or not there? There. Assert is a keyword. Okay. Next one is, which one is given? Pass. Is it pass is there or not there? There. But is it eval is there or not there? Not there. Eval is not there. Then which one is not a keyword? Eval is not a keyword, right? So the answer is eval can be used as what? Variable. All keywords in Python are in which case? All keywords are in Python in which case? Lowercase, uppercase, capitalize, none of them mentioned. Lowercase, uppercase, capitalize, none of them mentioned. None of them mentioned because most of the keywords are in which case? Lowercase. And some keywords are in what? Capitalize. Capitalize means first letter is capital letter. Which keywords first letter is capital letters? True, false, and none. But remaining all are in which case? Lowercase. Then the answer is multiple answers are there or not? Yes. Then what is the answer for this? D. So true, false, and none are capitalized while others are in which case? Lowercase. Okay. Yes. But even this we have not come across here. Multiple assignments. Which of the following cannot be a variable? Underscore init underscore in it and one more is what? On. So which of the following cannot be a variable? Okay. Identify. See, is it I underscore underscore init underscore underscore? Is it this is a keyword? Is it this is a keyword? No. Is it in is a keyword? See here. Is it in is a keyword? Is it in is a keyword? Yes. Can you use in as a identifier? No. Is it is a keyword? No. Is it on is a keyword? No. Which is not a keyword can be used as what? Identifier. So in this four options, you need to identify which one is a keyword. Which one is a keyword? In is a keyword, and this keyword cannot be used as what? Variable. So variable is nothing but identifier. Variable is nothing but identifier. Now what is the answer? In is a keyword, and this you cannot use as what? Identifier. Getting or not? You must be perfect in one concept. When you are learning one concept, you should be perfect in that concept. Okay, and you should understand everything about that. Getting on. So this is related with what? Identifiers. Okay. So tell me, is it identifiers are predefined or user defined? User defined. And it is used for identifying what? Variables, functions, data types, program names, and package. The person is identified with some name. Okay. Suppose mobile is there. You have a mobile. Your mobile is having some name or not? Yes. Which mobile are you using? What is the value of what is 10? You'll say, 10 is a roll number. What is 10? 10 is an employee number. What is 10? 10 is a base of the height of the triangle or base of the triangle. So that value should be identified with some name or not. Yes. Suppose your mobile is having some functions. Your mobile is having some functions or not. Yes. That functions are having some name. And those names are predefined or user defined? User defined. Those names are not predefined. Those names are what? User defined. So that user defined words are called which one? Identifiers. Predefined words are called which one? Keywords. Predefined words are called as a keywords, right? Then next we'll see data types. Data types and what is that? Literals. Okay, both will discuss data types and literals. Data types and literals. So data types and literals. Okay. Is it identifiers are clear? What do you say here? Is it identifiers are clear? How to give the names to how to create names in the program? Is it clear? This one. Suppose assume that just here. I want to write a program for adding two numbers. I want to write a program for adding two numbers. What do you do it? You just give number one, mathematics. Number one equal to 100. What is the value of number one? 100. What is 100? Value. What is number one? Variable. Yes or no? Number one is a variable. Variable is identifier. Then I'll say number two. Number two equal to what? 200. What is 200? Value. This value is identified with what name? Number two. Can you say number two is identifier or not? Yes. Then I'm saying number. Then I'm saying number three. Number three equal to number one plus number two. What is the value of number one? 100. What is the value of number two? 200. And that is assigned to which one? Number three. Very simple. Python is easy. Yes or no? This is first class mathematics. A plus B, A minus B. Yes or no? You write A equal to 10, B equal to 20. Same, no? The way how you are writing it, in the same way you are doing it. If you want to write a first program in Java, you have to write lengthy code. First program only you cannot understand. You'll write Suppose if it is Java, right? How you write a first program like this? We'll say class, demo, huh? Then we'll say public, static, void, main. First program you write like this. All decorations will be there. Okay. String arguments. Okay. And then we'll say system dot out dot println. Hello. Hello. What is this? Java. Now this much code you have to write. First program. But you don't know what is a class is, what is a public is, what is a, you have to learn a lot of things to write first program in what? Java. But here, is it required to write anything to write a first program? No. You should know how to write a program. You should know how to write a program. I'll simply say print what is that? Number one, number two, number three. No decorations. The way how you think, you write it. The way how you think, you write it. Then this is my program, save it. Then there is a rules like class name should be, you should save the program with what? Class name. वो पूरा इधर नहीं है, कौन सा भी नाम दे दो, but it should not be keyword. Program name can be anything, but it should not be keyword. Now, what is the number one? 100. What is number two? 200. What is number three? 300. Is it simple of writing? Easy or not? Yes. That's the reason non-technical. Non-technical means those who are not from computer science background, those who are from different streams like MBA or some other stream, they like working with what? Python. Because technically you don't require to have a strong. So in this case, you need to learn a lot of things. But this non-technical person, understanding these things becomes what? Very complex. Why you are writing capitals only like that? So a lot of rules are there. This makes it programming is somewhat complex. But here no, the way how you think, that is called as expressive. Python is expressive language. Expressive means the way how you think, you write it. There's no rule like you have to write like this only. There's no rule like you have to write like this only. But there it will force. Java will force you to write like this only. If I don't write like this, it gives what? Error. But in Python, no, the way how I think, I write it. It will not give any error. So that makes it programming is more easy, right? Then next is, now Python, yes. Yes, right. Yes, right. Right, Soumya. Yes. But you should know data types, right? Okay. Yes. Yes. That is what we have seen in the features of Python. Okay. That is what we have seen in the features of Python. Yes or no? Okay. Yes. Data types. Data types and literals. Okay. Yes. Now what is now first one is, what is literal? First one is, what is literal? Okay, what is literal? See, literal or constant. Literal or constant is a value, which never what? Changed. Literal or a constant is a value which never changed, right? Literal is nothing but a value. Okay, it's nothing but a value which never change. For example, you'll say there is a value called which one? 100. 100 is a value or not? Yes. 100 is called as which value? Alright. 100 is called as which value in mathematics? It is which number? 100 is number, right? It's which number? You don't know mathematics, huh? You learn all the numbers, whole numbers, even numbers, odd numbers, natural numbers. Learn or not learn? Then yeah. Yes, integer. 100 is which value? Integer value. Okay, this is which number? Integer number. And this can be called as whole number or not? Yes. It can be called as even number or not? Yes. This is 100 is one value. But which value? Integer value. It is called as a numeric value. But which type of numeric value? Integer value. It's a numeric value, but it is which type? Integer. It's a number, but it is a integer, right? It is a number, but it is a integer. Suppose 1.5 is there. 1.5 is also a number or not? Yes, but this is which number? This is which number? Float number. This is which number? Integer number. This is which number? Float number, or you can call this as which number? Real number. Okay, which is having fractional number, because it is having which part? Or it is having which part? Decimal part, fractional part. Because of that, it is called which number? Float number. Which doesn't have a fractional part is called which number? Integer number. So how many types of numbers are there? In this case, how many types of numbers are there? Two types. One is integers and one more is floats. But can you find other type of numbers or not? Yes. You will say 1 plus 2i. This is which number? Complex number. But here in Python, you will say 1 plus 2j. Now this is which number? Complex number. Complex number. Complex numbers are used. In mathematics, complex numbers are used or not? Yes. For example, suppose if you are writing square root of 9. What is the square root of 9? 3. And what is the square root of minus 9? 3i. What is the square root of minus 9? 3i. Is it this value is represented as which type? Complex. Quadratic equations, right? Now, can you use can you get the result in complex type or not? Yes. So here you find different types of numbers, and these numbers can be either integer number. This number can be what? Float number, or this can be what? Complex number. So these are called which data types? These are called which type of number? Which type of values? Numeric values. These are called which values? Numeric values. Numeric means numbers. And there is also which one you have a non-numeric. There is a non-numeric. Non-numeric types are there. Non-numeric means, for example, name is there. Is it name is a number? Your name is 1. Your name is 1? No. Your name is 2? No. Your name is, some name will be there which contain alphabets. Which contain alphabets. So that you call it as which one? Non-numeric. Okay, non-numeric. For example, non-numeric, like names. Names are like, suppose Naresh is there. Okay, is it Naresh is a name or not? Yes. So is it a numeric or non-numeric? Non-numeric. Non-numeric. Okay, some Suresh is there. Suresh is a numeric or non-numeric? Non-numeric. User name is non-numeric. Password is non-numeric. These are which type? Strings. These are called which type? Strings. Right? Okay, so literals are nothing but values which never change. Now, there are different types of values you find in Python. Okay, so there are two types of values you find in Python. One is which values? Numeric values. The other one is what? Non-numeric values. One is a numeric values and one more is non-numeric. Numeric values. Okay, numeric values represents what here? Numbers. Okay, so there are, okay, numeric value represents numbers. Okay, there are three types of numbers or three types of numeric literals. One is integer literal, and second one is what? Float literal, and third one is what? Complex literal. How many types of numeric values are there in Python? Three types of numeric values. Okay, one is integer, second one is float, third one is complex. And there is a non-numeric, okay, non-numeric non-numeric values are, these are non-numeric values. These are non-numeric values, or these are called non-numeric literals. And how many types of non-numeric literals are there? Strings are there, and second one is what? Booleans. Strings, and second one is booleans. Okay, these are called which literals? Non-numeric. How many types of non-numerics are there? Two types. One is a strings, and second one is a booleans. How many types of numeric literals are there? Three types. What is it? Integer, float, and complex. What is a literal? Is a constant or a value which never changed. Is a literal or value which never changed. Okay, which never changed, which never changed. Okay, integer literal is there. Integer literal. See, literal, every language define some syntax for representing which one? Literals. Every language define a syntax for representing which one? Literals. How to represent integer value, how to represent float value, how to represent complex value, how to represent string value, how to represent what? Boolean value. Getting or not? Okay, these values are never changed. But if you want to change these values are never changed. But if you want to change these values, for example, 50 is there. Can you change the value of 50? Tell me, can you change the value of 50? No, you cannot change the value of 50. If you want to change the value of 50, what do you do it? You store this value 50. You store this value 50 into what? Memory. You store this value into memory, and this is called as which memory? Main memory. You store this value into main memory. To store this 50 into main memory, what do you have to do? First, you have to reserve the space. You have to reserve the space. Then how you reserve the space? How you reserve the space? You reserve the space with the help of what? You reserve the space with the help of what? Data type. Why we are using data types? To reserve array. Why we are using data types? To reserve space. And why we are reserving the space? Array. Why we are reserving the space? To store. Why we are reserving the space? To store data. Why we are using a data types? To reserve the space. Where we are reserving a space? In main memory. We are reserving a space in order to store what? Data. By storing data, what you can do? You can perform operations. For example, what is the name of this year? A. If I want to change the value of A, what will I do? I'll say A equal to what? 60. The value of A changed from 50 to what here? 60. I'll say A equal to A plus. I'll say A equal to A plus 10. Then the value of A is incremented with the 10 or not? Yes. How can you perform these operations? By storing this data into what? Memory. But how can I store this data into the memory? Or how can I store this data into memory? With the help of data types. So without data types, you cannot reserve the space. If you are not reserving the space, you cannot load what? Data. You cannot load data and perform operations, because literals are values which never changed. If you want to perform certain operation on these literals, if you want to perform certain operations on these literals, or if you want to perform certain operation on this data has to be loaded into what? Main memory. This data has to be stored in main memory. But how you are storing this data into a main memory? With the help of what? Data types. With the help of data types. So what is the use of data types? What is the use of data types? Data types are used to reserve space. Why you reserve the space? To store the data. Why you store the data? To perform operations. Very important, because suppose you want to become a data scientist. Data science, right? Data science. Data. And one more is what? Science. Science means In science, what do you do it? In science, will you apply? Apply what? Formulas, research. Science is nothing but researching on which one? Data. Yes or no? Okay, where this data will be? You get the data from different sources. This data can be inside what? Files. This data will be there inside files. This data will be there inside what? Database. This data will be there in files. This data will be there in database. Okay, this data, you may read it from where? Web. That is from internet. Okay, this data you might get from different sources. This data you may get from different sources. For example, I want to do some analysis on the data exist in the file. Can you do the analysis directly on file? No. What do you have to do? You have to read this data from where? You have to read this data from where? File. You have to read this data from file, and where you put this data in, or where you store this data in? Main memory. To load this data from file into main memory, I have to reserve some space. But how I reserve the space? With the help of what? Data types. With the help of data types. Will it do operation directly on the database? No. Your program, your Python program will read the data from database and load into what? Main memory. To load into main memory, I need to reserve some space. And that is done with the help of data types. Okay. So data type. So data type define for which type of data memory has to be reserved. For which type of data? Data means data is a literal or not? Yes. Data is represented as what here? Literals. If you want to perform operations on literals, you put these literals into what? Memory, and for that you take the help of which one? Data types. Okay. So what is data type? So what is data type here? Okay. What is data type? Data type. So data type. Okay. Data type. What data type is? Reserve space. Reserve space within main memory. Data type reserve. Okay, data type reserve space within main memory. What is main memory here? RAM. Okay, or you can say data type define for which type of data. Data type define for which type of data memory has to be reserved. Memory has to be reserved. That is defined by what here? Data type. Okay, so that you can store the data and perform certain operations. So Python data types are classified into two categories. One is standard data types and one more is a collection data types. Okay, yes. Python data types are classified into how many categories? Two categories. One is you can call it as standard data types, and one more is which one? Collection data types. These are called even scalar what? Data types. Okay. Now, if you see scalar data types or standard data types, you find there is a data type called which one? Int. There is a data type called which one? Float. So there is a data type int. There is a data type called float. There is a data type called which one? Complex. And there is a data type called Boolean. And there is a data type called which one? None type. So how many standard data types are there? 5 are there. What is that? Int, float, complex, Boolean, and none type. So you don't have more number of data types. Now int, which is used for reserving space for which value? Integer value. And float is for reserving space for which value? Float value. And complex is for reserving memory for which value? Complex number. And Boolean And one more is which type? None type. Okay. So integer float complex, which are used to reserve memory for how many values? One value. Integer reserve memory for how many integers? Only one. And float will reserve memory for how many float values? One float value. Complex data type reserve memory for how many complex numbers? Only one. Suppose I want to reserve memory for 100 integers. I want to reserve memory for how many integers? 100 integers. Okay. Then you go for which type? Collection type. Then you go for which type? Collection types. And this collection types, see the name itself, collection means one or more than one. More than one. Scalar means one. Scalar means one. Collection means more than one. Integer reserve memory for only one integer. Float reserve memory for only one float. Complex reserve memory for only one complex. Boolean reserve memory for only one boolean. But if you want to reserve, suppose I want to reserve memory for 100 players. I want to reserve memory for 100 players, or I want to reserve the memory for sales of 1 year. I want to reserve the space of sales of how many years? 1 year. 1 year means I want to reserve space for 12 months. Okay, then is it float will reserve the memory for 1 sales or 10 sales? 1 sales. But I want to reserve memory for how many sales? 10 sales. Then I'll go for which one? Collections. Now these collections again classified into different categories. Okay. So further, one is called as which one? Sequences. And these are called sequence data types. And there is a list. There is a list. There is a tuple. There is a list tuple and range. Okay. And there is a string and bytes and byte array. So how many sequence data types are there? How many sequence data types are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many sequences are there? 6 are there. Sequences are which type? Collections hold one value or more than one value. Scalar types hold one value or more than one value. To reserve memory for one integer, you go for which type? Scalar. To reserve memory for 10 integers, you go for collection. Ring or not? Okay. Yes. Then this collection types are how many types here? Collection data types, or you can call the same thing as what? Data. Same thing is called as what? Predefined data structures. Even these are called which one? Predefined data structures. Because data structure is a language. Is it a data structure is a language? No. Data structure is not a language. Data structure define set of rules and regulations to organize data in what? Memory. How to organize data in memory, that is defined by what? Data structure. Now what is sequence? Sequence means? Sequence is one order or not? Yes. Sequence is one order. List is a sequence. Means in memory, how the data is organized in sequential order. Means one by one. One by one. Sequence is one by one or not? Yes. So sequences, list, tuple, array. So don't think that sequence means something else. So sequence will define the order in which the data should be stored in what? Memory. It is order in which the data should be organized in what? Memory. That you call it as which one? Sequence. Stand in a sequence. Yes or no? Not random. So sequence define one order. If it is sequence, then you can read it sequentially as well as what? Randomly. So a lot of features are there. We'll be discussing that. Okay. And second one is sets are there. Second one is a sets. Okay. Collections are one more type is there called sets. Now sets, you'll see in mathematics or not? Yes. Mathematics, you have sets. Sets is ordered or unordered? Unordered, right? So you can do all mathematical operations like union, intersection, difference, symmetric difference. You can even do certain comparisons like is it sets or disjoint sets, superset, or what is that, subset. And there are certain problems which you can solve it by representing data in what sets. Is a set is one value or more than one value? More than one value. Now there are two types of sets. One is a set and one more is frozen set. Now you should know it. So as a Python developer, you'll be learning when to use the sequences and when to use what? Sets. All the things you cannot do it using sequences, right? Sometimes you go for which one? Sets. And sometimes you go for sequences. And there is one more collection type is called which one? Mappings. And there is only one mapping collection is there. And what is that? Dictionary. There's only one mapping collection is there called which one? Dictionary. Right? Python data types are classified into how many categories? Two categories. One is scalar or standard data types and one more is collection data types. So standard data types are used for reserving memory for one value and collection data types are used to reserve memory for more than one value. Every collection is one data structure. Data structure, what it define? Set of rules and regulations to organize data in what? Memory. So Python collections are classified into how many types again? Three types. What is the first one? Sequences. What is the second one? Sets. What is the third one? So how many sequences are there? 6. How many sets are there? 2. How many mappings are there? 1. Okay, total how many data types are there? This is how many here? 5. And this is 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 2 is a 14. Plus 1 is a 13. 11 plus 2 is a 13. 13 plus 1 is 14. So total how many data types are there? 14. You know Python, then you must know all these 14 data types. Because you'll be using all these 14 data types in developing application or project. Getting or not? Okay, then first we'll be talking about which one? Integer data type. Getting or not? So integer data type. Okay, yes. Is it clear up to this? You want to ask anything here? Anyone want to ask anything? You understood up to this? Okay, so why we are using data types? To reserve memory for? To reserve memory for what? Which one? Literals. What is literal? A constant or a value which never changes. If you want to change it, you should store this data into what? Memory. To store this data into memory, you required data types. Then you store this data in memory and then you manipulate data in what? Memory. Is it clear this one? Next, this data type and what is next is. So what is variable? What is variable? We'll be discussing all this. Okay, don't worry. Okay, but as a developer, you must know all these things. Okay, now? Yes. Literal data type variable. Okay, variable. What is variable? What is variable? What is variable? Variable is an identifier or not? Yes, variable is a identifier. Variable is an identifier. Is an identifier which is used to identify what? Value. Variable is an identifier which is used to identify what? Value. Variable is an identifier. Yes. Variable. Vary at any time means which changes, right? Literal whose value never changes. But the value of variable changes. Variable is a named memory location. Okay. Variable is a named what? memory location. Okay, you are reserving memory. You are reserving memory within the RAM. And after reserving memory within the RAM, that location is given some name or not? Yes, that name is what? Variable name. And variable names are what here? Identifiers. You have to follow the same rules and regulations. Same rules and regulations. So variable is a named memory location. So in Python variables doesn't bind with one type. In Python, variables doesn't bind with one type. Okay, and there is no need of declaring declaring variables. There's no need of declaring there's no need to declare variables. There's no need to declare variables in what here? Python. Because Python is what? Dynamic. Okay, dynamically typed language. Because Python is which language? Dynamically typed language. When you are working with the programming languages like C or C++, these are called statically typed languages. For example, if I want to store one value in memory, first what you have to do? You have to create one variable. This is called as variable. This is called as variable declaration. This is called as variable declaration. Declaration, or it is called as variable creation. So this is in which language? This is in which language? C language or C++ or what is that? Java. So it means you are declaring A as which type of variable? Integer. Then what will happen? Your compiler will reserve some space of some 2 bytes. It reserves a space of how many bytes? 2 bytes, and then give one name. What is the name of this memory location? A. Then after that, what do you do it? You'll say A equal to what? 10. Then this 10 will be stored in which one? A. Then I'm trying to write B. I'm saying B equal to 20. Can I write B equal to 20? Tell me, yaar, can I write B equal to 20? Can you write B equal to 20? No, because are you created B? Are you created B? No, you are not created what? B. In order to create, then you have to declare which variable? B. Are you declared B or not declared B? Not declared B. Without declaring, can you store value? No, because this is where you come across certain problems in which language? Statically typed languages. Statically typed languages always require a variable name. Not only that, if I'm writing A equal to 1.5, and this also leads to which one? Error. Because A is which type here? Integer, but you are storing which type? Float. Now this you come across when you are working with what? C, C++ and Java. But when it comes to the Python, no. There is no need to declare variables in Python, because Python is dynamically typed language. The type of variable, the type of variable is defined, okay, based on the type of variable is defined based on what? Value. Based on value assigned. If you assign integer value, the type of variable is which type? Integer. If you assign float value, it is which type of? Float type. If you assign boolean, then it is which type? Boolean. So is it bind with one type? No, it is dynamic. Dynamic means, is it fixed or changed? Changed. Static means what? Fixed. It doesn't changes. You write in program. But dynamic means which changes based on what? Based on what? Value. Based on the value, the type get what? Changes. Now that you can call it as which one? Dynamic. Suppose if I'm writing in Python, suppose I just create a variable. How you create a variable in Python is by just assigning what? Value. Are you declared any variable? Will you declare any variable saying integer A like this? No. If you are writing integer A, immediately it is given what? Syntax error. incomplete input. It means, is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. You can simply write A equal to what? 100. But here if I write A equal to 100, B equal to 20, is it gives error or not? Yes. Why? Because is it B is declared or not declared? Not declared. But are you declaring any variables in Python? No, you are just creating it by using which operator? Assignment operator. If I'm saying type of A is which type? Or A is which type here? Integer type. Okay. Now if I'm saying B equal to 1.5, then if I'm saying type of B is which type? Float type. If I'm saying C equal to true, true is a value or not? Yes. If I'm saying type of C is holding which type of value? Boolean. If I'm writing A, if I'm saying A equal to false, then what is the type of A now? Boolean type. What is the type of A now? Boolean. But is it A type is fixed? Is it A data type is fixed? No, A data type is not fixed. It is changing based on what? Value assigned. That you call it as what? Dynamic. Means as a Python developer, you don't require to think about what? As a Python developer, you don't require to think about what? Variable creations, variable declarations. You always create a variable by just assigning what? Value. How to create variable in Python? How to create variable in a Python? Tell me here. How you create variable in Python using which operator? Assignment operator. Very simple. Ring or not? How you create variable in Python? By using which operator? Assignment operator. Assignment operator. So variables in Python are created using which operator? Assignment operator. But this operator does two things. Okay. Assignment operator, that is equal. Assignment, one single. Double equal is there. That is comparison. But single equal is what? Assignment operator. This operator perform how many operations? Performs how many operations? Two operations. One is creating and one more is one is creating and one more is updating. When will it create? If variable not variable what? Not exists, it create new what? Variable. If variable exists, what will it do? Update value of that variable. If variable not exists, it will create a new variable. If variable exists, then what will it do? Update the value of that variable. Variable not exists. Suppose if I'm writing like this, suppose if I'm saying n1 equal to 100, n1 is there or not there? Not there. Then it will create variable n1 with the value what? 100. What is the value of n1? 100. What is the type of n1? Integer type. Okay. Then if I'm saying n2 equal to 200, is it n2 is there or not there? Not there. It will create variable n2. What is the value of n2? 200. And what is the type of n2? Integer. If I'm saying n1 equal to 300, n1 is there or not there? There. Then it will update n1 value from 100 to what? 300. Now what is the value of n1 now? 300, because n1 is already there or not? Yes. If variable is there, if variable name is exist, it will update. Okay, the value of that variable. If the variable is not there, what will happen? Create it. So assignment operator, you are doing it two things. One is creation and one more is what? Updating. Yes, just to try to understand what is variable. Variable is a identifier which is used to identify what? Value. And variable is a named memory location. In Python, variables doesn't bind with one data type. There is no need to declare variables in what? Python, because Python is a dynamically typed language. The type of variable is defined based on value assigned. Okay, so how to create variable in Python? Variables in Python are created using which operator? Assignment operator. But this operator performs how many operations? Two operations. One is creating and one more is updating. So when will it create? A variable not exists. When will it update? It variable is what? Exists. Variable is exists. Okay, now yes, please just try to understand this. Basics. Basics, you should be very good in basics. Then rest of the things will become easy. Now type is one function by using which you can find this n1 is holding which type or n1 is which type. N1 is which type? N1 is a variable of which type? Integer type. But before integer, what do you have? Class. Integer is what here? Class. So Python, yes. Up to this, is it clear? What do you say here? Yes or no? We'll discuss all these data types. Don't worry. Yes. So what is literal? Is a constant or a value which never changes. If you want to change, or if you want to change, you put this literal into what? Memory. How you store these values into memory? With the help of data types. Python data types are classified into two categories. Total, how many data types are there? 14 are there. 14 data types. And standard data types are used to allocate memory for one value. Collections are used for more than one. How many sequences are there? 6 are there. How many sets are there? How many mappings are there? One. Now should be like this. Throughout the Python, you should answer like this. Then you'll get the job. Not first day. ఇదేంటి స్టార్టింగ్ లో జోష్లో అన్ని చెప్తారు. ఒక 10 రోజులు అయితే చల్లబడతారు. ఒక 15 days అయిన తర్వాత కథం. పైథాన్లో తురుము అనుకుంటారు మీరు ఇక. అట్లా ఉండదు. స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి ఒకటే పిచ్లు ఉండాలి. స్టార్టింగ్ లో మస్తు చెప్తారు. తెలుగు వస్తుంది కదా అందరికి. స్టార్టింగ్ లో మస్తు ఆన్సర్స్ ఇస్తారు, బాగా చెప్తారు. 10-15 రోజులు మస్తు ఉంటుంది. తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది ఇక మీకు. ఇక వచ్చి అనుకుంటారు మీరు, ఏ పైథాన్ ఏం లేదు నాకు అన్ని వచ్చేస్తానే వదిలేస్తారు. లాస్ట్కి వచ్చేసరికి మళ్ళీ మొదటికి వస్తారు. సో స్టార్టింగ్లో ఎట్లా నేర్చుకున్నారో లాస్ట్ వరకు అట్లనే ఉండాలి. ఓకే, so first how the way how you learn in the beginning, the josh what you have in the beginning, right? Same thing should be there at the end also. Then you will become perfect. Otherwise మధ్యలో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ చూపించి తర్వాత ఇంట్రెస్ట్ చూపించకుంటే you will be loser. Okay now, right? So anyway, so every data type in Python is one class, but we'll talk about what is a class and what is a object, right? Because Python is which language? Object oriented programming language. Okay, right. We'll talk about what is a class and what is a object is, and even we'll talk about which data types, standard data types, and we'll see how to represent which values, integer values, float values, and complex. All these things we'll discuss, but not today, but tomorrow we'll discuss this, right? But today I started late because some problem, right? So but tomorrow I'll start on time, right? Thank you. We'll see tomorrow, right? Thank you very much. ఉండదు. Core and advanced. Core Python, advanced Python, NumPy, Pandas, one. Very